brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman. When it's cold and you have a pipe that bursts in your house, who's the most important person on the planet? Is it your wife? Is it your husband? Or is it the plumber? I'm going with option C every time. Now, some of you smart Alex out there said, well, it's actually the spouse, it's me, because I can fix that stuff. Okay, great. That's a very small percentage of you. But I'm going to tell you, it's the plumber. When the shower in your teenage daughter's bathroom clogs up, who's the most important person on the planet? It's the plumber. Yeah, that's right. I could go on and on and on and on with scenarios. I think I've made my point. And by the way, we could go into 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. It is a Saturday afternoon, Alex. And it's July in the South, which means it's hotter than the first threshold of hell. And my AC unit, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the main level, stops cooling. Hey! I try everything. I change the filters. I turn it off. It's not working. I'm already starting to stress out because I'm not going to get a hold of an HVAC guy on a Saturday afternoon. We're going to have to go to a hotel. I can't sleep when it's hot. You know, the whole drill. Thankfully, the guy shows up at about 7:30 at night. And about an hour and a half later, it starts to cool. We have a nice night. Who's the most important man in my wife's world? It's the HVAC guy, not this bonehead. You get my point. The trades affect our lives at its most important and fundamental levels. But the trades also have a massive impact on our economy in the United States. So, with that as the context and the backdrop, specifically looking at plumbing and the plumbing deficit. We have a plumber deficit. And again, I could probably do this same segment, and I've done it on carpenters. We could do it on a lot of areas, but let's look at this. And this is a great context for where we stand. And this is important to you all. Those of you who are interested in trades, those of you who are parenting kids who are interested in trades, this is unbelievable. And can I also say that as American citizens, this may be one of the biggest threats to our economy. Some of you are going, what? Watch this. I'm gonna bring this home for you, because we the people have to start talking about the trades in a different way, or else it's going to crush our economy. Let me give you the facts. Here we go. Openings for plumbers, pipe fitters, and steam fitters are wide open and will average about 42,000 a year over the coming decade. New jobs as plumbers, about 42,000 jobs will open each year over the next 10 years. This is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And the money's not bad either. The annual mean wage for plumbers as of May 2022, so this is a little outdated, was $65,000. And that's higher than the national average. Now, again, that's May 2022, and that's just the mean. That doesn't mean anything. Like, I always say stuff like this and people go, oh, I actually make way more. Great. And here's my point. A plumber in North Carolina might earn something in the 40s to 50s versus in California can pull in 6 figures. So obviously it varies. But what's concerning is the pace at which we are bringing new plumbers in. This continues to widen as a deficit. And how is this affecting you, the people? Ken, why does this matter to me? Because when there are less plumbers, you pay a premium when you got to get something fixed. There's just more demand to get a plumber in. And so guess who pays it? You do. It's a consumption tax. So some of you go, well, this doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter. Let's fast forward 10 years from now. You have less and less plumbers. You're going to be paying outrageous, crippling prices for basic services. If you think this doesn't matter to you, get your head out of you. You know what? Let's keep going. Why do we have a deficit? Here's why. You got to get up early. You may be getting up at 5 a.m. You're on the go all day long. You're in uncomfortable positions. You're in gross positions, crawl spaces, nasty scum. Come on. Being a plumber is not glamorous, but it is lucrative. Because you can make really good money. I'm telling you right now in Williamson County, where we live right here in Tennessee, a very good plumber who's established is making bank. Bank. $250,000, $300,000 with ease. Can't hire enough people. You like your little white collar job in your cube? Or do you like money, honey? Now, young people, though, have heard trades are really, really hard. They are. They've heard trades can be really, really gross and nasty. This is true. What they're not hearing is that the trades can pay you a lot of money and set you on a path to potential entrepreneurship and running your own business. The data is clear. 70% of Americans want to be self-employed, but only 6% are. You know why there's such a huge gap there? I'm glad you asked me. Because running a freaking business is hard. Starting the right business is hard. You're trying to come up with your next new idea, or the next thing you sell on Instagram, or you want to buy into some franchise. It's freaking hard, and people fail and lose their freaking shirt. But you know what's not hard to succeed in? Plumbing and electrical work. You know why? Because there's so much demand. By the way, it's even less difficult because if you go work for a plumber and you learn the trade and you get all the qualifications and you learn how they run the business and you work for them for 5, 7, 10 years and then you know everything there is to know about the business, you go out and do it. Come on. By the way, most Americans don't realize that small businesses are the greatest employer out there. Most jobs in America coming from these type of small businesses. So, final point here. What do? Well, there's no quick fix to this. You, the American people, need to start talking about it at cocktail parties, block parties, in school. We've got to see state governments, forward-thinking governors, forward-thinking legislators, forward-thinking county commissioners, because all politics are local. We got to see parents. We got to start talking to kids in middle school about a path to the trades and actually train them and show them the numbers. Because every time I see an article like this, and it's cited in this article too, a young guy goes, it's really hard, it's really gross, but when you told me how much money I could make, I said, And so this is about recruiting and training. 2 words, recruiting and training. It's going to take time, but if intentional, it will turn the tide. And this is good for you in lowering your costs for basic services. It is good for our economy because as home building and home renovations go, so goes our consumer economy. So it does matter. And oh, by the way, you all may have some kids who never want to wear a white collared shirt. They don't mind having a little dirt under their fingernails. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.